So, as you walk out beyond the camp, large wooden walls, again, of the bandit camp kind of rising up overhead. The rest of the townspeople that you had released are on their way back, almost just kind of trudging very calmly back to the town. With the death of Kylus, also, while they did not have the bond and the friendship that you guys had with him, they still realized the weight of the situation and keep their heads low and somber in respect. Some of them walk by and offer a quick pat on the kind of the leg of Kylus. Some of them kind of just pause for a moment and bow their heads at the sacrifice that he had given.
Do I remember when we were in Sundal, when we snuck in for the first time? Do I remember seeing? Did I meet Theron? Was he there?
You did not see him, no. But in the rush of the moment, you had only spent 10 minutes there, give or take. So
that makes sense. So we're all on our horses, and Mick, you've got 2, right?
Yeah, I've got mine in Kai's.
I'm on my horse, and I'll turn to you guys. Well, Asher will turn to you guys, and he's just like, I gotta find my dad, and I gotta find Theron. We gotta go back to Sundal.
Yeah, it's hard for me, Asher. It's been a long time since I've been home, and earlier it didn't feel all that welcoming either way. So,
but we have to.
We have to bury Kai is what we have to do.
Sure.
I motion towards Selena. What would you do in this circumstance for Kai? Obviously, he's gone, but we need to have a proper burial despite the travesty that we're about to face.
I kind of look over and I give a brief pause and try to collect myself as I bow my head. Do you have any memories here from when you were young about a garden or a flower bed in the forest or anywhere near here?
My only memories here are of being an outcast.
Asher?
Honestly, I kind of think he deserves the kind of burial he gave the soldier on the road. That's just my opinion.
I feel like we can do better, Asher, in our hometown.
Yeah, but he was willing to leave that guy there under the bridge.
He was willing to die for you to find your dad.
And we haven't found him yet.
He died trying to find him. You're just willing to give him...
He just wanted to kill people. At least that's what I think.
Really such a bad thing? He was an outcast just like me, and we took him in, and now he's dead.
Well, we need to do this quick, because I need to get back to Sundal.
I pull the horses over to the side of the road and accidentally like lose grip of Kai's horse and have it be more of like a euphemism for us letting go of Kai.
As you let go of the reins, the horse kind of trots off a few steps and doesn't leave too far. Maybe only trots away, 10 or 20 feet. Begins to kind of look around, begins to kind of pick at some of the grass and the ferns that lie on the forest floor.
Out of curiosity, what is the name of Kai's horse?
You don't know.
Would any of us know?
No, he never at any point mentioned it. He's sometimes writing things inside of his books and things of the sort. I mean, outside of that, no, none of you know.
Can I search his pockets for any books or any
Sure,
things?
I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this.
On?
This is if you're looking through everything, I'm just gonna go ahead and give this to you. This is There you go. There is everything that is on Kylus's body. So yeah, you have this is like weapons and things of the sort. Inside, so the kind of the main objects that look, on his body outside of his sword and his gear, you see that there's, the money. Just a couple of references to Dark Skull, and there's a couple of books. Both the books are very well made. It seems that one of them kind of had a little bit more personal note to it. It had small sigils on it. It looks like notes about family. As you kind of sift through it, underneath the horse name, it says, what's it say?
It says Al Capone.
That's our Kai.
Do you chuckle in character too?
No.
Okay.
Just shuts it.
I'm pissed
burn
off.
'em, just
I'm
burn
pissed
'em.
off. I just.
Okay.
And then the other notable items that is like the rings, jerky, I guess,
The jerky.
and then the thieves' tools that were made, but less than a week ago.
I take the ring of meditation.
Okay.
And
Oh
the,
man,
thieves'
that's
tools.
so messed up. He had a ring on that meant he didn't need to sleep, and when you take it off, now he doesn't need to wake up.
It's a little morbid, bro.
I just-
Oh my god.
This sounds like a high school writing prompt. What does taking the ring off mean? Well, it symbolizes that he doesn't have to wake up.
oh shit.
All right, so you can go and put the ring of meditation. Into
I'll
your...
take the.
This sounds like a shopping list. All right, you know what, guys? Let's roll through it. This is now an
Divvy it
auction.
up, divvy it up, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
This is now an auction. All right, 43
The
gold.
very next
43
session.
gold. Who's taking the 43 gold and 50 silver?
43, 44, 43,
45, 45, 50, 50.
I'll
Yeah. Who's taking the gold? We're going to do this. You guys are going to feel like terrible people because you're
I'll
taking
take the gold.
Okay, there it is.
Of course you will.
You can take the gold and silver there. Anyone want the rapier skull? Okay, let's go through the main items. I'm just going to roll through that. Does anybody... Okay, so the ring of meditation, you're taking that. The Dark Skull
and
map.
I'll take the thieves' tools.
The Dark Skull map and the seal.
I'll take those and keep them with the
All right,
schedule.
I'm gonna let you write this stuff down then.
Hunter, how do you feel that we're parting out your old character sheet?
Buried him
Here's
yet?
what he thinks. He can't
feel
talk.
like-
He's dead.
This is how D&D works. I
Yeah.
died, you guys get my items.
This honestly feels like me playing Apex. Someone dies instantly.
Right,
It's just
right, you're in the
loot.
box.
Just loot.
Are you doing the
Can't-
WASD too?
It's literally like, can we revive him? No. Okay. And then just quick yoinks.
Okay. And then the 8-point star for the key. That was to the back of Kabor's chair. Kind of the Dark Skull
I
lock.
feel like Selena should take the jewelry. Clearly, that's going well.
Okay. Okay, bud.
And then the thieves'
Asher
tools.
is just trotting his horse kind of like in circles, impatiently looking around.
Okay, and then the thieves' tools. All right, you can write that down if you want. All right, cool. So,
Then on the side of the road, hop off my horse and motion to Asher. I think I'm gonna need your shield. We don't have a shovel still.
Yeah. Where do you want to do it?
so there's not really a
Everything's fine,
set
right?
trail where you guys are at, so it's kind of all just forest floor.
Do it by the base of
Um,
a tree.
It takes
do we see any-
you...
Trees and stuff nearby, I assume.
Asher, as you begin to dig, some of the other
Ash sucks to suck.
some other townspeople, including Merrick, walk over and they kind of put their hand on their shoulder as they begin to help themselves. Some of them one of them grabs a shield from Kalus's body, and they begin to help you dig. After probably about 45 minutes or so, there's a relatively deep grave that is now carved out.
Okay, we put him in.
As you kind of grab the body off, you feel kind of just the weight of him kind of shift down, and you lay him softly into the bottom of the grave. And as some of the townspeople begin to pour dirt, pull it over.
Wait. Did somebody take his... Did somebody take his weapon?
He's now
The rapier's
involved.
still
He
on his
wants-
hip.
take the rapier off his body.
As some of the
before-
dirt begins to fall onto the chest, you stop Merrick and you reach down and you hear shh as he pulls the rapier out and set off the side, and then they begin to pour the body back, pour the dirt back onto.
Wait.
They stop us again.
Did we get the Dark Skull map?
He puts another pile of dirt on, and you're like,
Wait,
did
we got?
again? Wait.
I have the thieves' tools, the map, and
It's supposed
the
to be
seal.
emotional, people.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to double check. I didn't hear.
Hold on, he still has a femur. Let's get that.
By the way, while we're at it, does anybody want the rope? Does anybody want?
Are his clothes still in good condition?
There's some blood on him, but they're relatively.
Did he clean them up one last time before he
Oh
left?
no,
You know, like-
we lost our cleaner.
Right? Fuck.
That's the real loss.
Okay, I'm done.
Given so much with how we are with places like Cabor's, like we're gonna need that.
As Selena begins to kind of look through the body, she she pulls open the pack that was like off to the side of the body, kind of crammed in there, and she kind of looks through it. And I believe
God.
Mick, you took the map and the Dark Soul stuff, right?
Yeah, I have the seal, the map, and the tools.
At this point, it seems like the townspeople are less somber about it, and they kind of start pulling dirt over again, looking at each of you. And after a few moments, the body's dirt's covered up, and they begin to kind of like stamp it down. One of the women turn. Any last words? And then
I just turned to. I guess I turned to Selena actually.
I faced Lynn as well.
May he rest well. For where he is now shall be more peaceful where it is here.
she nods her head and stands up, and one of them grabs a flower from one of the nearby bushes and lays it on top. And they turn and walk back towards Sundal.
Stand next to the grave, bow my head in silence for a couple seconds, and then walk away, hop back on my horse, and start to trot the group.
Yeah. We should follow him.
All right. It takes probably about another hour or so before you return back to Sundal. Walking into the town itself is still void of life, it appears. There's no lights on. The only sound that is heard is the soft whistle of the wind across the plains, across the fields of wheat, and just the general openness of this that kind of eventually goes down into the ocean. You see that a lot of the townspeople kind of break off into different directions. It seems that they're headed down different alleyways and things of the sort. Where you guys are going?
I'm going to the tavern.
We should head back to the where all the
I just
people
want to
were.
head straight back to the underground building where everyone was hiding.
Okay. You follow Merrick as he begins to walk kind of through some of the alleyways, and you see your parents' house in the distance, the smokestacks, and after taking a couple of turns, you arrive back at the cellar door that Marsk had originally brought you to. Walking down into it, Merrick descends first, and you hear the thump, thump, thump. Walking inside, you see this familiar faces kind of huddled up. Some of them have kind of sleeping quarters. Some of them are lying down and sleeping. And you see Marsk kind of stand up. He looks like he was tending to someone who has some of the black veins going up their neck, and he was just kind of inspecting their eyes, looking at their general health, and stands up. How did it go?
I couldn't find my dad. I don't know where he is. But we managed to save a couple people, and Merrick, too, he's okay.
Marsk walks over and just kind of places his hands on the shoulders and just grasps Merrick's shoulders very tight and just kind of nods at him once. It's good to see you.
I'm just looking around. I don't see Theron down here, I'm guessing.
No.
I kind of interrupt again, and I'm like, I interrupt him again. I'm like, this is important. Have you seen Theron?
As we were speaking to Merrick, so Theron, he turns
It's
to
important.
he turns to one of the other townspeople. One that you don't really recognize. Greylock, would you show him? And he nods. Kind of a younger boy, probably in his probably teenage years. He stands up and kind of motions for you to follow. Walking up the cellar and taking a left, he begins to kind of stealthily move through these streets, kind of making sure he's looking around. And he crosses that main road, goes over, and you're just following in suit.
Mm-hmm.
Take it the rest of you are following?
I'll
Or
follow.
Yeah.
all right. He goes over to another cellar and opens up the cellar door. As he descends down to it, it's a much larger cellar, and it seems that there's a little bit of more kind of liveliness to it. You hear people that are bustling and talking, and there's a little bit of a couple of moments of laughter, and that quickly silenced, especially as you walk down and everyone kind of looks. In the back off to the left, you see a kind of a more burly dwarf who has neat braids coming down from his beard, and he sits kind of facing the wall with his arms crossed. You see the familiar scars that went up his neck, some tattoos that have almost looks like a U with a dot in the center that represents the Stormax clan. And he's sitting there just kind of messing with a mug of ale as he kind of sits there and just rasps his knuckles against the wooden table.
I run. Like, if I see his figure, I run to him.
He turns around abruptly as he hears the footsteps.
Yeah. Theron!
Turns around. Asha! Bloody hell!
Theron. What is going on, Theron? Oh.
Well, if it had it my way, we'll be killing all of them.
Yeah, we did a good number. I couldn't find my dad or my mom.
He stands up and kind of... when he stands up, he doesn't change height too much. You see there's a stocky fellow. He kind of just slaps the sides of your arm.
Yeah.
You've gotten weak. Have you been
I
foraging?
feel it. I've been trying a little, yeah, but using my skills out in the world is a little more challenge than I thought it would be. It's a little different than just working for my pops, you know?
Oi, what's the last
I'm
thing...
kind of like fighting back tears a little bit.
He's looking... he kind of like walks around you inspecting your, like just the equipment. So what's the last thing you made?
Well, tools.
Kind of nods his head.
I
What's-
reach in my bag, the thieves' tools, and
I'm
I
like,
toss
no,
it to him.
no, it's okay. No.
Oh, no.
No.
Let me see this. He kind of extends
I
his...
hand it over to him.
he kind of looks down and looks once back at you and then back down to the tools. I see. He just drops them onto the ground as they kind of clatter against the stone. They kind of ring out.
It's like, I promise I make something better. I will, I promise.
I pick back up the tools and pocket them.
He kind of just pauses for a moment and looks down. Well, I'd say that I could help you. But with all these bandits coming around, these camps still being present, I can't do much about it.
We'll kill them all.
You do that,
We'll stop them.
and I'll help you.
I need to be stronger. I have to be stronger.
He kind of puts his hand on your shoulder for a moment. Wait here. And he kind of walks over and begins to talk to some of the... You recognize a couple of the other councilmen from just years past.
Sure.
He's talking to some of them. He kind of leans down and he begins to whisper amidst them, and some of them kind of shake their head. So there's three of them here. As far as which ones, you see that it's two of them. It's Sorrow and Atticus.
I kind of I shoot a half smile at Sorrow, but when I see Atticus, I kind of like flinch a bit and then kind of turn my head and rub my neck.
You see that Atticus kind of sits with his arms crossed. He's just kind of listening intently. Then he just shakes his head, and Sorrow just looks like he's probably arguing with Atticus. And Atticus, you can see him kind of just points over towards both you and Mick.
I noticed all this?
Yeah,
going down?
you've seen them before. Atticus was Sauron was the one that, if you remembered, you remember the one who kind of spoke out on your behalf.
I completely ignore the fact that Atticus exists and nod over to Sorrow as a gesture of just welcoming.
While they're kind of talking, I'll go over to Mick and I'll put both of my hands on your shoulders, and there's like this weird, I'm like fighting back tears, but also look angry at the same time. I'm just like, Mick, we'll fix this. We'll fix all of this, Mick.
After we fix this, I'm gonna fix him. And I motion over to Atticus.
Yeah, don't. Now's not the time.
Mick, as you are talking, you probably just looking around throughout this, you see a couple of people, you see someone staring at you, and one of the, kind of an older gentleman kind of looks, he's talking to someone, kind of glares at you. It seems like he seems to have a little bit more disconcerting kind of concerned or not disgust necessarily, looked kind of at you.
I notice this.
Yeah.
Asher, it's like I never left. The same looks from the same people.
Yeah, well,
Those things never change.
they might soon when we save the town. They'll think differently of you, I promise.
We bring back how many people and they still act this way?
We need to bring back them all.
Still a start.
During this time, you see as Theron walks back. Oi, tomorrow. You'll be with me. And I need your full focus.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the other two. Lie low. And be safe. And he goes back and sits back down. And Theron actually, as he kind of sits down, he turns back around. There's bunks over there. Rest well. And he goes back, and there's this kind of soft fire just kind of crackling in front of him. And he goes back to drinking his, whatever it was that he was consuming.
Roughly what time is it now?
It is in the middle of the night. You had been at
Because
the
we got
band
into
camp.
town super late.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is very early into the morning.
Okay.
You hadn't seen the light coming up over the ocean, but you have a feeling that it is very early in the morning, probably, right before sunrise.
I motioned over to Asher. Looks like you got a busy day ahead of you. Is your father going to be able to wait?
I can't do anything like this. And I kind of look down and I'm still like, believe I'm still in I am like really bloody. I just start limping over towards the bunks.
All right. As the three of you lie down, there's these kind of bedrolls laid out, nothing, quite as comfortable as an inn or a proper home. You just feel the exhaustion wash over you as you fall asleep. Into the next day.
During that sleep, because I have the ring of meditation now, don't I have to prepare that?
Yes, you have to attune to that during a rest.
Okay.
So I'll allow you for you to do that.
Assuming we're resting. Do you mind if I do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fun.
Long rest?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
We almost just died. That's probably not a bad idea.
It's like now just washing over me now. Like I'm starting to remember everything that happened last session, and it's wow, yeah.
Some heavy shit.
I saw the 1 HP on my character sheet, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
I'm just picturing you walking back to camp,
Shit.
like you're just like walking very tall and proud, like, didn't you get hurt? You're like, oh yeah, right. You start limping back. Totally spaced.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug, man.
Yeah.
All right. So then as you begin to focus on your meditation, the last thing you hear is,
You did well.
and you feel the presence just fade away from your existence or from your mind. All right. Into the next morning, you were all, or Kugo, you were woken as you feel kind of a hand rustle your shoulder. You're the nearest to the door,
What?
and you just see Theron standing over you, just staring very intently. He doesn't
So
say
I
any-
sit up straight immediately.
You seem just kind of turn and walk out the door, and you see him.
Yeah, I'll get ready right away. I start getting all my things together.
He turns
I'm
back.
just gonna hear him
He turns back.
do we hear him do this?
Yeah, you were awoken as you see Asher rustling with all of his armor. You see the metal clings and all that. A few people around to kind of wake. The few people that are still resting kind of shift and just shut up. Looking around the rest of the room itself, it seems to be rather about half the people are gone, and the light kind of leaking through the cellar door probably indicates that it's sometime during midday.
As he's getting ready, I say to him, "Just make sure you're safe."
I'm so busy. I don't even pay attention.
As you kind of grabbing your supplies, he looks back. No armor.
What?
And he just motion, and then he just walks up. He just walks up the cellar door and walks out.
I just slowly place it down on my bunk. I shake out of it and I just run. I just book it, chasing after him.
As you kind of walk through, you saw everyone else walking through the town quite stealthy. You know, saw that they were creeping around, things of the sort. You see that he's just walking, just very intently, his shoulders broad. All right, so the first thing we need to do is I need to make a quick stop. We need a little bit of help, a little bit of lifting.
Okay.
It's like he kind of looks around, crosses the large road. We need to find someone by the name of Aegis. Give me a moment. And he walks back kind of through a couple other areas. You pass the cellar that you'd gone to before and walk down into a kind of a little, more of a, he walks into a building and there's these large staircases. He kind of flips open this door hatch and descends down. As you descend down, it's another gathering of people. It seems that this one, none of these people have really left. It's some of the more elderly, probably middle to late. There's no kids inside the cellar. And he walks over to a kind of a smaller man who is talking to this woman. He's kind of very intent, focused in conversation. And he kind of just begins to whisper, and he points over towards the wall. Looking over to the side, you see this large metal figure who seems to be lifting these boxes, kind of a bit more robotic. Its face, these kind of metal, sleek cheeks kind of come down. It stands probably about 7 feet tall. And he's kind of hunched inside the cellar, kind
Have
of
I
bent
ever
over.
seen anything like this before?
Probably once, but never this close. They're pretty rare inside of Kings Valley, but you know it is a Warforged.
Okay, I'm just like in shock.
Its body on the outside is just this fine metal. There's some rust. It seems like there's some care that's been taken care of it, but other times it looks like it's probably just been neglected for whatever reason. Small dents here and there. And you see that it's moving some crates. The man looks over. Aegis! Help Theron!
Alright, I stop doing what I'm doing and go to help.
Aegis,
Theron is that a... Oh.
As Theron walks over to you, Aegis, you see that he's looking straight up. Just, all right, you bucket of bolts. You ready?
How might I help?
Follow me. And you see it once he comes out of the cellar. So Theron, as he kind of walks out, has no problems. You as well. But as Aegis kind of steps out, you see him, he has to like duck and like pull his way out of the cellar, out of these stair doors. He kind of duck his head as he kind of climbs
I'm just
the stairs.
backpedaling and watching you move, basically.
I do not even recognize that you're taken aback by my appearance.
You see him as he just walks very solid and just kind of begins to duck out of the next doorway. The Warforges you've probably seen before were only used in service, meaning that they were probably just very one element. They were, let's say moving crates, or they're just doing this. This one seems to be a little bit more lively and have a little bit more, humanity to it in the sense that.
Theron, is that a Warforged?
Aye! Damn well made one at that. Quite strong.
Who made it?
Couldn't tell you.
My master. My master made me.
Wow.
Stop staring at the stars. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, I'm coming.
You see Theron walk down. It takes probably about an hour, give or take. for you to kind of go into this small grove of trees. As you stand further, you remember this being where you've been many a time. You realize you head towards this forge. Descending this kind of this gradual slope, it goes into this small quarry. This building in front of you, kind of built into this, and there's a small cave kind of cut out near the back of it, where you see a familiar anvil, but the forge at this point is off. It looks like it hasn't been used in quite some time. Looks back. You remember how to do this, right?
Yeah, I should. Yeah.
And he motions towards the coals.
Okay, I
All right.
go over.
It takes a little bit of time for everything to get going, and soon you feel that hear this familiar sounds of the forge, just the general ambience. This familiar smoke wafts into your nostrils. Just the powder, just the steel begins to heat. Ages towards you. He starts mentioning towards some of the towards the billow, and kind of motions for you to begin to tend to it.
Yeah.
All right, I begin doing that.
You see as Aegis up and down just begins to just very intently just push this down as a blast of air, probably stronger than most humans would be able to do. It just ignites the furnace as it turns on. You see the fire just erupt. Theron doesn't even react as he begins to pull out steel.
Oh. I wish we had him back when I trained.
Aye, he's good at what he does. He's a great helping hand. When you don't have a pupil, he kind of looks towards you. Theron walks over and grabs a sigil of Morden off the wall and drapes it around his neck. And you see him begins to mutter. This, you see his gauntlet begins to glow, just a kind of a faint glow, and he begins to grab different materials. Oi, let me see your hammer.
Yeah, sure. I hand my warhammer over.
He takes it, kind of just flips it around, begins to kind of look at it for a moment, and takes it and just throws it into the furnace.
With all due respect,
He holds up a finger. No cleric of Morden will be using some piece of shite like that.
it took me ages to make.
We can do better. And for the next,
I trust you.
the next several hours, with Aegis just very intently just on this, keeping the furnace solid, the flame just ignites. You see the metal heat, and it begins to guide you and instruct you. Go ahead and roll a. You don't have a blacksmithing, do you? Like,
I can do my tools. Yeah, Smith's tools.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that.
Sure. Yup.
Nice.
24.
Very
smithing
quickly,
hard
your
today.
with his instruction, you find it to be just very easy. Everything just begins to make sense. This is a very fast process compared to most tools. With the metal that he's using, and you see him muttering as different, just glowing pieces kind of begin to form together. It just welds. Some of it that would normally take hours begin mere moments or minutes as this kind of welds together. It begins to guide you. Sometimes yelling at you, snapping at you. Pay attention! Outside, the sun is moving overhead. The shadows grow long as you continue this far into the night. Aegis at this point hasn't moved a single moment the entire time, just focused on this. Go ahead.
This whole time, I'm just thinking about my parents. I'm just thinking about my mom and my dad, and just at the same time, just channeling my own connection with Moradin, and just trying to do every single piece to the best of my ability.
All right. After hours and hours and far into the night, eventually, as he takes the handle, he pulls some of these materials that he's made before, these long, different handles. He walks over and kind of points. There's a short and a long handle, and he kind of just shrugs at you. Aye, which one? And there's different handle types. There's different. There's silver inlaid of different types. There's leather. There's wood. There's dark woods. There's metal.
I don't know. Let me look at my mini that I just got. Yeah.
What do you want it to look like?
Ooh. I want it to be like one solid piece. Like all molded together and then just let a leather wrap all the way down
All right.
to the bottom.
He hands the engraving tools over to you. As all forms together. Is there anything you'd like to engrave upon the hammer? He puts his hand. You feel like this big, heavy hand rests on your back. Asher, you did well. You haven't lost your touch. I'm quite impressed. I realize you're fearing for your father's life. He's a good man. He'll be fine.
I need to make sure of it.
Aegis, he walks up to you and just kind of just holds his hand up for you to stop.
I stop.
I'm going to engrave on one side. I would like to engrave the symbol of Moradin, and on the other side, I would like to take out the. I would like to take out the little. Earlier I had received like the locket of my mother, right?
Yes.
Is there any kind of engraving or anything on that, or is it just kind of a simple?
Kind of, you hold this in your hand and you kind of sit there a little moment, kind of studying it. Theron walks over. He goes, give me a few moments. He takes the hammer and the locket. After some time, he comes back, and you see that just in his years of experience has taken what you've done and imbued upon it further. On the top, on the symbol of Morden now is on both sides. You see this kind of Celtic symbol going around the corners of it. You see that there's small decorations, engravings, and on the top of the hammer, where it would normally go through, you'd see the top of the handle. Instead, is a kind of a cut-in. You see the locket perfectly placed in, and it has these iron bars kind of just clasping almost like a jewel on top of it. It looks like he's put more kind of a silver lining to it, and it has these tendrils of these different symbols kind of breaking off of it. The leather wrap is now around it. You see that there's another silver kind of wiring gone through as it just feels perfectly weighted into your grip.
I'd like to. So he hands it off to me.
Yes.
Okay. It's a lot better. It needs to be better. I need to be better. I rush back over to an anvil, and I set it down on the anvil, and I kneel down and I put my hands on it, and I perform the finishing touch with my cleric, my forged cleric blessing to enhance that as it glows and burns a little bit red again. And I'm just kind of I don't even touch it. It's just still there, and it's just gorgeous and strong, and the slight glow of it, and I'm just like psyching myself out right now. I'm just my fists. I'm just like,
Aegis,
I don't even want to pick it up yet. I don't even touch it.
You kind of just
so
see
perfect.
Aegis, you see the kind of general excitement. You'd recognize that during this time, Theron's also just looks like he's kind of just tuning you up a little bit, like any kind of loose things at all, just making you just. He's just kind of looks like he's inspecting you just for any mechanical, primarily the metal parts of this. Begins to kind of buff and kind of clean up some of the rust that was on your general body.
Yeah.
Just gonna wait patiently as I observe what's going on.
Okay, and so with that, on a more game side of things, you now have a Warhammer +1.
Yay!
Nice.
A Warhammer +1.
Fair point. So that's 11, right? Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Mick and Selena,
Yes.
during the day, in the kind of generally 10, 12 hours, that's, yeah, perfect, dude. That was just the most blurry thing I've ever seen in my life. You can do this.
I don't know if I can, dude.
Well, I have the picture on Twitter. I can show that.
All right, yeah, post it in. Yeah. That's a lot better.
Actually, just post on Twitter and I'll just retweet it. We can do this after. All right. So during the day, Selena and Mick, is there anything that you were trying to do, or was generally just kind of resting about and just kind of speaking to people?
I'm just.
Go ahead,
Oh no, you go.
ladies.
It's
first.
been this for 10 hours. They're like, no, you go. No, you go. No, you go. The Canadian
It's
elves.
okay to be selfish in D&D because it's not you.
You mean
It's your
looting the
character.
body of your friends?
Been there, done
I'm-
that.
I'm just still like struck mentally. Like in my eyes, I have like a little bit of just like grayness, like a little bit of just vibrant nature. It has just kind of faded away from my personality. Just seeing how everything unfolded, and I'm secluding myself. I'm kind of just sitting on like my cot, just thinking in my head, and I can't stop.
Selena, as you
Do
just kind of sit there throughout the day, one of the children kind of walks up and kind of grabs your arm where the bracelet's at, and is like kind of trying to like torque your arm as it's looking at the bracelet or the bracer.
It's pretty, isn't it?
The kid, probably maybe 3 or so, just looks up at you and just smiles as it begins to look closer and closer. At one point, kind of putting her eye like over the primary gem that's just near the back of it.
Have you seen this before?
She just kind of shakes her head.
There's many blessings and many curses with this.
The parent father of the girl walks over and kind of crouches down. I'm sorry if she's bothering you. She's quite a curious little one.
She's fine. She's fine. I hope she becomes a strong woman someday.
She will. And he kind of puts his arm around his daughter and kind of picks her up, well, kind of underneath the arms, and kind of carries her back over. Mick, what are you doing?
Kind of noticing Selena just acting not quite like herself. I eventually carry myself over to her and sit down next to her and start to make mention of, "You okay?"
That could have been me.
It could have been all of us.
That Asher seems so cold. Even when after everything, and that just I didn't expect it.
He's only known his dad and his mom his whole life. Until he came to find me, it's all he has ever known. I mean, you see how he acts as a child when he gets around Theron.
I actually have a question. I couldn't help but notice how you guys were acting when we saw those two other I don't know their names, but what happened? What happened here with you?
It's a long story, but maybe you and I can go and find some answers. And I basically start to motion towards the door as if we're gonna go check out my parents' place. And then as we start to like head in that direction, I tell her about the times of my childhood and how it was difficult growing up. I never really found a place for myself here. At a young age, my parents were murdered. And
Murdered? Why? What?
it's honestly the purpose of what I'm doing. I thought it was a dream at first, but the town changed ever since that time. And I kind of get choked up trying to talk about it because I don't really speak about my past. And quickly change the subject and start talking about the two. The leader on the left who pointed is Atticus Cole. He's a pretentious dick.
Sorry. I kind of just like I highlight. It was the first time I smiled.
You're the only one who smiles when you hear his name. And then he's pretty much the sole reason why this town hates me. The one to his right was Sorrow, another half-elf elder. He understands the changes and the differences as a man grows, and was the one to speak out on my behalf. Clearly, it didn't matter.
What made him have so much anger towards you?
Honestly, I don't know. It's just the way he is. He's well-straught in his ways and doesn't really have much patience for others, let alone other gods. Me being a person who doesn't really have a god probably just makes him even more angry.
So it's because of your religion?
Or maybe lack thereof. Or because I'm different.
Different in what way?
I mean, you've seen me fight. The way I can control the dead. The way that I use my own vitality to do and inflict pain. I don't know if he's worried about how it could taint me or what it's done to my appearance, and I like motion to my hair and the tattoos and stuff on my face.
I see.
I'm just not like the others.
I see. Well, makes it feel any better. He's pretty ugly looking.
My tattoos?
No, he's pretty ugly looking. Not your tattoos. Your tattoos fine. Your tattoos are fine. I'm sorry you had to go through that in your childhood. No one should ever feel that way.
No, I'm just looking for answers. It's part of the reason why I don't feel so harshly about Kai. He seemed outcasted as well. The first time we met him was in the streets, and he was kicked out of the library.
I don't know if you remember the first day that we met, but I have a very difficult time trusting people and opening up to people, and when I lose someone that I'd spent so much time with, it hurts. It hurts a lot. And I don't know, I just take it very, very near and dear to the heart when I lose someone. It's close to home.
I know it's not easy for anyone. We fought battles together. We fought alongside each other. I can't think of the amount of times that Asher would be gone without him. But we have to understand that he made those choices on his own. He chose to fight alongside us.
I don't know. Sometimes I just feel helpless. Helpless to all the pain, helpless to all the suffering, helpless to everything.
Well, let's make a pact right here and now. You've been nothing but more than helpful. Without you, I don't think our party would have survived. Hell, I know for a fact our party wouldn't have survived. Let's channel this sorrow into positive and find what happened to my parents and whatever it is you're searching for.
Okay. I'll try my best.
That's all we ever ask for. While this conversation's happening, we're headed towards the Knee household.
Okay.
and eventually, hopefully, get to there at this point. Hopefully, we don't come across anything in the streets. We're
Oh yeah, you died like 20 feet back. As you approach this house, Selena, you see this kind of worn down house. The walls have caved in at this point. There's these there's these rotting wooded beams. There's ivy and vines that have kind of grown up over part of the house. Weeds have overtaken what was once the lawn. The fences are broken down. Some of the trees even look sickly. How far up to it are you walking, Mick?
In our surroundings, like, what do we all see? Like, obviously, the house is in the distance, but like, are we surrounded by other buildings? Is it pretty open?
It's
What are we
pretty
looking at?
open. The next house, I mean, with just general how villages are, this house is away probably about 400 feet from anything else.
I'd say we're within probably 200 feet of it, 150 feet. And kind of approaching slowly. Under my breath, I murmured, "Good to know nothing's changed." And then I looked to Selena. See what I mean? My parents are killed, and they don't even have the decency to make something of it. Just let it rot and fall apart. Just like how they left me. Luckily for me, I had Asher.
Kind of take a couple steps towards the house.
Stepping a little bit closer as you kind of approach the door. The main living area itself, I mean, the door frame still stands, but the walls have kind of deteriorated at this point. And looking into the center is something a little bit more out of kind of the norm. Inside the center of this living room is a large black spot. Inside that, she kind of spreads across and it kind of overtakes the wall. It kind of just unsettling energy and feeling just emanates from it. You kind of feel this soft hum, this kind of dark spot like slowly shifts and moves. You see as you look closer and closer, these tendrils just encasing this area, but it doesn't seem to be going outwards.
I quickly grab Selena's shoulders and push her away from the house. Get away!
What is that?
I draw my bow and slowly start to walk into the house and just yell back, "Stay away from the house!"
Stepping in, go ahead and roll a wisdom save.
I'm sorry, what?
Mick, as you step closer, this tendril.
Oh my god!
This tendril, that's a nat 20, by the way.
Let's go.
As this tendril kind of reaches out, and you see that this shifts across the ground, almost like this living organism. You kind of just feel this presence in your mind trying to pull you towards it. And you just kind of feel that tendency to you raise your foot to step forward and pause and realize what it's trying to do. And you're able to quickly take a few steps back.
I yell to Selena again. Would I know that this is the same thing in relation to what happened?
This is a remnant of what happened that fateful night. It began as much smaller in the years that you've left. This has grown almost exponentially and grown to what it is now. Before it was just, it began beneath the house, inside the basement, cellar, and now.
Everything okay?
Think of what okay is, and then make it a million times worse.
Get out now.
I can't. I have to find answers.
Let's wait for the other. Let's wait.
We
for
don't know if
Asher.
there's gonna be another chance.
I'm coming in then. I take my bow out and I take a couple steps forward.
I yelled, "Stay back! I don't want the same fate to come to you that came to my parents."
I can't let you fight it.
We don't know if there's anything to fight, and if
Then
anybody's
come
gonna take that
back
risk.
here and wait for Asher.
No, and I get closer to it.
Are you going back to where you were standing before?
Is there anything like nearby me that I can like throw or like?
There's tons of rocks and sticks, and there's some stones that were once part of the house walls that have collapsed off to the right side.
I grab a bunch of them and toss it towards the dark spot.
As you throw this rock and it lands in near the center of this kind of thing, you see it shift and it begins to go, or it kind of just, you kind of hear the sucking sound as the whole part of it begins to swirl and it kind of collapses in itself, almost like a Venus flytrap, and sucks down into the middle of the floor. Inside, beneath where the floor was, this ring of wooden, where the floor is, just kind of caves in, and you see this probably about 15 foot across hole that goes straight down past the cellar. It seems like it's almost this giant hole that descends into the earth or the ground beneath. And then moments later, you kind of see these tendrils begin to crawl up the side, and it kind of rests back on. You almost see this kind of dark pool of what it was before the tendrils on the outside begin to rest.
Would I know specifically what it is, other than what I remember as a child?
You really don't have any idea. The only thing you know is that it didn't show up until what happened. And all that happened when that originally did is that they just locked away from the cellar.
It seems to be emanating from the cellar, but I don't know how to approach it. You saw what happened.
At this point, I'm next to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I really have a bad feeling about this. We shouldn't take this alone.
Understanding what we're up against, I want to force my way through, but am quite reserved and almost taken back by it. Like it's emotionally bearing to where I'm struggling to make logical decisions in my actions, and I do the exact same thing. I pick up more stuff like debris and everything and throw it towards the cellar and throw it down the hole.
Again, as this has rested up top, it once again grabs this and pulls it down. And moments later, returns back up to the top.
I turn to Selena. Do you have any fire or anything that we can use?
I don't have fire.
In the middle of her doing this, I draw a bow and imbue right of the flame on my bow, and then shoot it into the hole.
Okay, as you pull back and the arrow goes straight into this, you see it begin to squeal and contort. I need you guys both to roll a dexterity save.
How do I do that? Okay. Bio. Hold on. Where do I do a dexterity save?
Top left, where it shows you like your proficiency bonus and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right below that, it has saving throws.
Oh,
click dexterity. Yep.
Okay.
Just normal?
Mm-hmm. Whew. All right, so as you shoot the arrow straight into the center of this mass, you see one of the little small tendrils before it grows as it whips out and kind of swings from the backside of the house all the way around. And as you see it come around, you see it begin to tear through the brick and the stone, ripping off any beams. It just begins to snapping as it comes around. Some of the dust begins to explode out. As Selena, you were kind of caught in the eye. And as you kind of clear your eye and you look, one of the arms collides into both of you, sending you both, sends you about 10 feet back. You take 5 points of damage. Selena, as it slams into you, you get thrown back about 15 feet into the side of a tree. As it breaks apart some of the oak and the bark, and you take 10 points of damage. The thing you see the thing hiss and the tendrils begin to flail up in the air. Birds fly off from the distant trees. As it begins to smack different stones and beams, things begin to collide down, and it begins to pull part of the house in with it, and begins to just grab these tendrils, begin to pull on the beams. And about half the house is ripped from its roots, from its foundations. It's pulled down into this hole. And moments later, it comes back and rests back in its dormant state.
After after collecting myself after being knocked back, I brush myself off and rush over to Selena and try to help her out. Are you okay?
I told you. Oh, God. I told you we should have waited. God. That's not good. Mick, that is
Obviously, it's
something
not
dark.
good.
I've never seen anything like this, and it's not something that we should trifle with alone.
We need to get Sorrow. He might understand.
I take off, like, just bark and pieces that I've kind of been stuck in, like, my arm.
I help dust her off and pick her up from the tree.
Mhm.
And we start to head back to the place where the other people are settled underneath.
Is there anything else you want to do once you return back?
As soon as I get back, I want to go immediately down and walk up to Sorrow if he's there.
I want to
It
just go
seems
back.
that during the middle of the day, they've all left, probably to tend to other things and go to the different kind of areas of other townsmen or townspeople.
As we get back, out of frustration, I'm like pacing back and forth. Damn it! When we need them most, why aren't they here? And I'm just getting
one of the
frustrated.
other individuals walks up. They'll be back soon. They're just tending to other people.
I
How
just
soon
go,
is soon?
Patience,
I go
patience.
straight.
Do I recognize who this is?
Just a townsperson. Probably one. Like you've seen them once before, but never really caught a name.
I go over to Selena and check to see if she's okay.
I don't even look Mick in the eye, and I just go over to my cot and lay on my side, facing the opposite direction.
A few hours pass, and eventually you hear heavy footsteps. You see as this stocky dwarf just walks down the stairs, and in tow is Asher, just kind of a little more upright probably. He walks in, and lastly is you hear these as this large metal figure just kind of tucks himself in as he kind of shoulders hunch, head down, as this big on top of his pauldrons are scraping this stone roof. You hear just like this creaking, this as it kind of tears into some of the wood and stone in the ceiling. Behind that is kind of more elderly man who is the one that was guiding you before Aegis. Kind of is behind. He's kind of just trying to pull down on the pauldron of Aegis, just like, get down!
Is it gonna fit?
That's
What?
she said.
Yes. Kind of.
You might need the old man to help it fit.
There's a lot of us down here.
Oh, we just lost someone.
Oh no!
We're good? All right, we're good.
Athena rage quit after that comment. She's out. It's like, I can't take this group anymore. I'm done.
What is Can
Okay.
I just get like a quick rundown of what your Warforged body looks like again?
That's very
Yeah.
sexual.
I look like somebody who is just completely covered in like a heavy like steel armor, and where
So humanoid,
Humanoids,
like, roughly
yes.
looking, but all
Yeah.
plated.
And where normally there would be like either skin or things that wear under armor.
Here,
You
I'll
instead
post that.
see these kind of like wood bits, kind of like that seem to be arranged sort of like how muscle is set up, and you can see it as I move around that like
Oh shoot!
they like tense and whatnot. And I have a very menacing looking face.
Yeah, you do. I just saw a picture.
Yeah.
Freaking Tony Stark under there, man.
You should see the recolor I did to make him look like Iron Man. It's fantastic.
So it's pretty cool.
When I come down, I just want to see if I can find either Mick or Selena.
You see them off to where their cots were before, where you left them in the morning.
Okay, I run over.
Immediately
to them.
notice that there's a kind of both of them seem a little bit more kind of roughed a little bit. Definitely, Selena has some marks going across her side. There's kind of some marks across her arm and her arm.
Okay, I come over to the bunk area and I'm like, guys, I'm ready now. Are you okay? Wait, what? Are you? Did something happen?
I look over at Asher, just no emotion in my eye, and I just turn back away and just roll over to my side.
Mick. Oh, he's muted. You're muted.
I'm not. You're muted.
Ooh, got him.
We
I'll hit you with this hammer I just got.
Please do.
He's gonna feel +1 worse.
We had a situation where we ended up talking about my past and visiting my old parents' house, and we need to go back.
What's there?
It's happening all over again, but it's worse.
Worse. Well, yeah, we can't bring people back to the town if the town's not safe, so sounds good to me.
Plus, we might get to test out whatever that is, and I motion to your new hammer.
Yeah, I had some help though, and I turn over my shoulder and kind of look at the giant robot.
I'm doing my best to just kind of stay out of the way of people.
At this point, he's kind of doing this. He's just
I've never
leaned.
seen
He's
something like that, right?
You've seen simpler versions, ones that are very, I guess, less detailed, less ornate, and there are usually ones that are just whether it's just a simple task that's kind of just helping out one person. This one seems much more, I guess, fleshed out.
Do I know if Selena's taken back by Aegis?
She said she rolled over, so I assume that she's just not even
Yes.
paying attention.
She hasn't seen it yet.
No, I'm just. I don't even want to look. I'm mad.
During this
I'm
time,
really
though,
mad.
Aegis, depending if you're allowing this, there's a couple of kids that have crawled up into your onto your leg plates and are just kind of grabbed on, and they're just trying to climb you.
That's fine. I don't really pay them any mind. I'm just trying to do my best to not destroy the building that I'm in.
At this point, I just
And-
think Aegis is like a robot version of Groot. So while this is going on, I'm taken back by this because I've never seen something quite like this before, especially after spending time out in the wilderness.
It's a warforged, Mick.
Fuck is a warforged?
It's kind of like how I can make weapons and armor. It's like if you could make armor that can move
Like a
and
cultist?
speak.
What do you mean move and speak? And I turn over and I just look and my expression is just in awe. My eyes just lock on Aegis. I'm like, what?
The old man who
that?
kind of looked like he had his hand resting on Aegis, kind of steps forward. Pardon me, but he is so much more than that. He's sentient. He's remarkable. He's Aegis. He kind of looks up and just smiles at him.
I kind of. I
Aegis,
walk
tell
over
them
there.
who you are.
How far away from everybody am I?
15 feet.
Okay, I'm going to very carefully lift the children off of me and kind of crawl
Roll for
over to
careful.
the party.
So, go ahead. I'm gonna make a brand. I don't know. Just go ahead and roll a dexterity check for me. I don't need to make a brand new
Okay.
thing. Roll a dexterity check
This
for
is
me.
gonna be bad.
It's not for the. Okay,
Or
that's
you,
good.
Or
So,
you squish the children.
it's
like
not
grapes.
that. It's more like I want to know how
Grape surgery, go.
I want to know how graceful he moves at times. That's what I want to know. So you see him as he just kind of kind of grabs the kids. Like someone like his full hand like fits the back of the kid and he just kind of puts one down, grabs another one, and he kind of just like he's like a little bit scraping across the top. He does a pretty good job. He kind of just like. Instead of like walking normally, it's kind of like a right foot, left foot up to right foot, that type of thing. Kind of trudges over. He's standing right in front of you. You see that he's just full towering. Ashley, when you stand up, your head still has probably about a foot above you. Him, he's just like crouched, like under,
Have I ever seen anything like this?
Probably not.
I know what your nickname shall be. You
Huh?
Aegis.
shall be kettle, like a teapot kettle.
I'm not a kettle.
But and I just I look over at every the outline of him. You shall be kettle.
Hold on,
I'm not
the
aware.
outline of him?
Wow, Selena really likes Aegis, I guess.
Maybe she should wink at him.
Does Aegis have feelings?
Yes.
Oh.
I
What
look
else
over
can
at
we ask
Aegis.
it?
I look over at Aegis.
Shit!
What do you feel right now?
Confused.
Elaborate.
This conversation is confusing.
So
What
is
about it is confusing.
Well, I get called a kettle as soon as I walk over, and I'm
You
not
are
a kettle.
I turn to the elder. I'm like, so is it magical?
Oh, to the man?
Yeah. The one that's with with Aegis, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of looks over Aegis. I'd say quite so. His previous master, his creator, did quite a marvelous job with him. Really, just fantastic, remarkable. Wouldn't you
Does
say
he-
so?
Yeah, I just don't know how it works. Is it a he? Is it a what?
I'd say it's a he.
I mean, it can talk, so it could answer itself. But I mean, I guess if
But you were addressing me, Aegis, by all means.
Warforged don't typically use gender. It's not.
It's 29. Oh, sorry. It's 3187. Okay, AG.
Do we still assume genders in 1,000 plus years? What are we doing here?
But you may address me as you wish.
Does it have a brain?
Yes. I think.
Oh. Wow.
The guy's like,
Wait, kettle. And I just look into Aegis's eyes.
you're going to confuse him. Just call him Aegis.
Yes.
Oh,
Aegis, I'm not addressing you. Okay, so
No,
hold on,
fine.
Aegis.
Yes.
You know your name is Aegis.
Yes.
Are you okay with her calling you Kettle? This is fine. You can be called only Aegis. I don't want to confuse you.
I don't understand it, but
She's just trying to be affectionate. She's trying to.
I can grow accustomed to it.
You still know your name is Aegis, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
So
How strong are you?
I just want to get up really close to the plating on his body and just kind of knock on it a couple times.
You
and
hear the
just
metal
look at
kind of tang as you knock against it. It is very well made. It's very sturdy. What your normal pauldron might be, half an inch thick. This one's probably about an inch.
Can
When Asher walks up and knocks on my armor,
Yeah.
I'm gonna knock back on his armor, thinking it's some kind of greeting.
I'm not wearing armor right now.
Well, I'll just knock on you then.
So you kind of he just kind of knock back a little bit,
Wow,
his metal knuckles. Yeah.
that's not very fair. Hold on, wait. I run back to my bunk and get my armor.
After about 5 or so minutes, you're able to kind of get your pauldrons and you're putting all of it on, or just kind of your upper body.
I'm getting kitted up.
All right. So after about 10
I'm
minutes,
stoked.
you're able to get fully armored up. All your straps tightened.
Can I'm hurting quite a bit, you guys. Can I take a short rest? That thing we saw took a lot out of me.
I look over to Selena. I'm sorry, but I had to know.
You couldn't stop, could you? You just had to keep going.
I'll tell you why later. And then I'll, during her short rest, kind of explain to the guys. Asher.
Oh, I was giving you guys 10 minutes to talk while I was putting on my stuff. It's okay. I'll come back.
I mean, gotcha. So while you're putting on your plating and shit, and she's resting, I'll talk to you as you get kitted. I think you said was the exact phrasing.
He's donning his armor.
Yeah. Asher,
Yeah.
when we went to my parents' house, I saw it again. I saw the tendrils.
Oh. Like, from the nightmare, from the dreams.
It's not a dream, Asher. It's real.
I mean, can you show me?
When we went there, I think I aggravated it. But after a while, it dissipates. Just goes back to like a natural state. Like it's dormant there or waiting for something.
Well, if it's bad and can hurt the people in the town, we have to stop it.
I tried everything. I threw stuff at it. It just made a bigger hole. I shot it with fire. It got irritated, and then Selena got hurt.
Oh, so that's what happened.
She warned me, but there's just something I wouldn't listen, and I feel so bad. But I
You
have to
feel
know about
bad?
Mom and Dad.
You feel bad, Mick?
I mean, I guess.
That's good.
Not as,
You've changed a little bit.
I guess you're rubbing off on me.
Yeah. Hold on a sec.
Context.
And I run back up to the Warforged, and I kind of like, my gauntlet hits my chest plate. I'm like, all right, try now.
I again just kind of knock on your armor.
I puff up and try to like take it the best I can.
You can't do this. You can't just go. Ding, you can like get knocked back a little bit, kind of like ding, ding,
Yeah.
you know. But
We're kind of like the same, me and you.
Yes, I suppose so.
Selena, can I have a nickname too?
You can be Kettle.
I
That is
thought
a
that was
nickname.
you. All right, now I'm confused.
Did I misunderstand? Kettle is a nickname. So you are Kettle now.
So it thinks all nicknames are Kettle.
you see that the older man just kind of sitting there, just like
Seeing this
Aegis.
go down, I walk up. Hey, Kettle. It's Kettle. Nice to meet you. And
What?
I like shake his hand. I like reach out my hand to see if he'll shake it.
listen. Aegis is a remarkable. You're going to confuse him.
I'm
Am
not
I awake from
confused.
my short rest?
No, it's sure it's like an hour.
Okay.
Well, short rest is also just light activity. You don't actually have to sleep.
Oh, fair
during it,
point.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's up to you.
No, that's light activity. I'm cool with that.
I wake up and I just hear someone say kettle. And I'm like, kettle. I look just straight at Aegis.
And I point at Asher. Kettle.
I got a man in the back goes teapot and holds up like a little.
So
What kind? I run over to the guy holding the teapot.
You see, he's holding an iron teapot. And he's just kind of like holding this up, and he's just like, I thought we were just yelling. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't actually have tea. Oh, okay.
Well, I do, but I thought that we. Okay, I'm sorry.
Can I have some?
Yes. And he kind of just, you see him like pouring, kind of this makeshift cup. It's a little like dented, and kind of just, kind of a worn, and he just hands it to you. It's still
I'm so into this right now.
It's still warm.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're just drinking out of cool mugs now, are we?
What the heck?
Dude, that's sick, dude.
I
That's
need a
sick.
mug.
Yeah.
What?
Look at all these
It's
other
so
poor people.
fancy.
I have a jar.
What do you wait? Hold on.
Your nerdy mug is the measure of your wealth.
That checks out.
Well, I'm
It
just
just
saying.
shows how much money you have to
Look-
waste on
Look how many
things.
gems I have in this thing. There's like, by the way, this is what
So
all
what's next,
donations go
guys?
towards. Mugs for all these players. Actually, let's do that. Yeah, okay, no, this is gonna happen now. The rest of you three, we're buying you fucking mugs now. This is happening.
So what's next, guys? Hey,
I'm waiting for
Kettle, do you
Sorrow.
want some tea?
I've never had tea.
Oh. I look at the old man. I'm like, can it have tea?
Stop calling
He kind of raises it and he
I
goes,
say no, it can't. That would make him a tea kettle. And I like slap my own knee and walk away, like disgusted with myself.
I give you one of these.
So man just goes, he doesn't eat or drink. I don't know if you can try. Can you?
Well, he might.
I've never tried.
Ken just motions over, kind of like just like.
I hand the tea up to you.
You see his like palm,
Would
like
you
almost
know
on.
what to do with it?
Yeah, I take it. I just look at the mug, and then look at you.
And I just kind of do this.
Okay, and I just splash it on my
You
face.
see the tea just wash over and like go between his armor and it begins to drip onto the ground. And, like,
And
I don't know what I was supposed to get out of that, but did I do it?
did you like it?
I feel wet now.
I think we got a new tea fan.
Oh my.
I like tea.
Oh, you're all right, big guy. Girl, sorry.
You too, Kettle, and I pat you on the head.
Why are you calling Kettle it?
Well, it's a construct. It's built. It's like it's a thing. It's not like a person. Right? And I just look back to the old guy for confirmation.
I'm going to defer to Aegis on this one. What do you want to be?
person?
Do you want to be he, it?
Be a she.
It doesn't matter to me. You can call me Aegis.
That's what
Or
most
Kettle.
people do, but these people seem to be. You may call him whatever you wish.
Whatever's easiest
Aegis,
for you.
Theron and I have talked it over and have decided that while they investigate the bandit camps, that you will be in their charge to help them. Is that all right?
What?
I'm always happy to help.
You are some of the most able and strong that we have. And until his father's group, he kind of lowers his head, returns, we need you to help them.
Understood?
He kind of reaches into his pocket and takes off his pack. He holds up a kind of a small little coin that kind of represents his sigil. He kind of puts it in the back. This is your pack. Just be safe.
I
Okay.
inquired his pack. What's
Well,
that?
For anything that he might need, there's things various things. Better yet, Aegis, just return back. I have some other things for you.
Okay.
I turn to Selena and Mick, and I'm just like, guys, we're gonna be able to stop them all.
Let's just take it one step at a time, okay?
Looking at Escher. He does magic too.
What?
Wait.
They said he's
Magic?
magical.
I slowly turn back to Kettle. And I'm like, Does it do magic too?
Yes. And I cast light in my on my hand. And
You
it's
see,
a
you see
ball of
as
light.
he just kind of puts his hand out, and then one of his fingers begins to glow like the palm of it, and just light begins to cast over. Some people kind of cover their eyes and they're just like, oh, what the? Just put it out. Just like some were just like, oh god. Just, you see they hold up their hands, just trying to block. His light just emanates in the immediate area. Kind of like
Kettle,
some pure-
stop! Stop!
Okay,
Kettle!
when I hear people ask
I'm
me to put
Donald
it out, I
Trumping
put it
and looking
out.
straight into it.
I think Ash was on ecstasies at a club. Just
This Warforged is using magic,
Yeah.
and he's on our team.
My master taught me some magic.
Oh, I can't wait to see what else you can do. What's next? I turn to my group.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Sorrow to come back. I want to ask him questions about my parents' house.
Do you think he knows why it's like it, the way it is?
He's the only one who advocated for me. He's the best chance I've got.
All right, well, I'm ready. I want to set off as soon as possible.
it is the middle of
We
the
need
night.
to find the rest of these camps.
After about 15 or so minutes, you hear some commotion outside, and the doors kind of fling open, and down walk Atticus and Sorrow.
Without hesitation, I walk up to Sorrow. Sorrow, I need to talk to you.
Mick, I saw you before. I'm sorry that I did not extend pleasantries. What is it?
Have you noticed anything weird? And I look at Atticus, and then go back after pausing on the word weird. Anything weird about?
Quickly explain what Sorrow looks like for you. Well, he stands probably about 5'10", has long kind of steel hair. He's half elf as well as Mick. He has kind of more somber eyes and looks very straight faced. Despite his kind of age, you probably would expect to be older. He has no creases in his eyes or upon his face, and sits very prompt and upright. He has one hand that he holds kind of in front, almost kind of at a 90 degrees, and the other one behind him, down in a very just cordial and prompt manner as he speaks. Atticus sits behind him with his sunken eyes, very kind of his eyes drooping a little bit, and looks sort of it very permanently upset. He has resting evil face in a way.
He's a douche,
Well, all right.
in my opinion.
Yes.
And
Most people would say that. Margaret's apparently it's Margaret's long lost brother. I don't know.
I want to go up to
Kill him next.
Every town has one.
I want to go up to Atticus
He just
and kind of introduce myself to him.
he just nods his head. Hello? Before you speak, who do you worship?
Should that define one's character?
Yes.
For what reason?
If you follow a false god, then you're led astray. Your motives are tainted. I have no use for you.
I turn to Selena on my left. Don't waste your time with him. I go back to talking to Sorrow.
I just look at Atticus and I just wish him well. And I don't further ask anything or answer his question.
He turns back and faces towards Sorrow.
Continuing asking Sorrow, I inquire, have you noticed anything strange about my parents' house? The area by it?
We have done well to keep others from it. I assume that you had gone towards it today?
You could say that.
I noticed the renovations.
Did you notice was inside the renovations?
We have kept it at bay for many years since you left. Seems that your absence has brought a bit of unruliness amidst it. But it has not spread in that time, and we are sure to keep an eye on it.
Well, we might need to. It seems to be guarding something.
We do not think so. We think that it is merely a remnant of what happened those years ago. Simply a scar amongst Sundal.
Well, what about the scar it left on my life?
Mick, you know I think very highly of you. But you are too hard on yourself. I realize the travesties that you faced, but you have these people around you, new friends. He kind of looks towards Aegis, about 10 feet back. Look towards the future. It may not always be at its brightest, but there is light in it. If you dwell on the past, you'll never see the present for what it is.
Answer me one thing.
Of course.
Do you know what it is?
I do not. We are doing our best. We have sent many letters to Thorncrest. We have ideas, but until we know for sure, there's no point. If with any luck, maybe your presence will put it at bay.
My presence or my actions?
That is soon to be found out, I'm sure.
Appreciate your time, Sour, as always.
He bows his head and turns back to a small book that he had in his hand before, and Atticus immediately begins to just kind of speak to him in a hushed tone as you return back. As the night kind of grows on, everyone begins to fall to their cots and let the kind of the night and the exhaustion wash over everyone. Is there anything else you guys would like to do?
Can I talk to my bracelet?
I don't know, can you?
Maybe I will. I'll go to my bracelet, and I look over and see if the others are asleep. And I've noticed that that the camp has kind of gone quiet. And I look over and I here. Are you there?
You feel kind of a presence begin to kind of wash into your mind.
Good evening.
How are you? Do you know what that was?
In my years of travel, I've not seen many things like that. But it possesses a great evil, a remnant of something long past.
How would I go about...
Exterminate it?
Yeah.
Perhaps something of a holy nature.
Oh, God.
You did well at that. Killing those men. I was proud.
I almost died.
Well, that is the price to pay.
The price to pay of what?
Taking another
You've asked for my
life.
help?
I need to make
Sorry?
sure that you are strong. The price to pay for one life could be your own. But you did not die.
How can I help you if you barely helped me?
In due time.
There's only so much time before my time runs out.
I'll be watching. I have faith. You're not like the others that have warned me.
Others? So I'm not the first person that has worn
You are
this bracelet.
but in a long line. The
And how did
sixth.
their fate usually end?
You feel the presence fade away as
Okay. Can I do you? And I kind of put my hand into my pillow and just shove it and just meditate.
The rest of you notice a couple of people just kind of staring at her. Kind of a little bit like eyes wide, just. And they kind of just go back to sleep. In the morning.
I
Okay.
motion to one of the, like, I lock eyes with one of the people that noticed, and I just go, like,
He kind of just looks back and kind of just
she doesn't notice this, I hope.
No, she laid down.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hold it against me, you don't know.
In the morning, you awake. Aegis, you have since returned. Did I give you the name of him, by the way? I forgot if I.
The guy that I'm helping,
Yeah.
Philro Blackstone.
All right, cool. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you return with Philro back to the previous cellar that you were in. The rest of you wake more at an appropriate hour in the morning. Able to, Kugo, you're able to, with the anvils, there actually is an anvil that was in there with Theron. You're able to pray, anything of the sort. What is it you guys would like to do?
Can I tell them, or can I try to tell them what I learned from the night?
As you begin to speak, you don't feel any presence in your mind, and you're free to speak.
Oh, okay. You guys awake?
I'm sitting by the anvil.
Okay. Is Aegis still near
Are
us?
we all in the same place?
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
came in, I think, when you guys were waking up.
Okay.
Oh, Aegis, you know you're not there, Aegis.
Oh, I'm not there.
No,
oh,
you
okay,
return
my
back with Philro back to your original quarters.
bad. Oh, okay, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I'm at the anvil and I turn as I hear you.
I learned something.
About
Huh?
what?
Mick, you remember what we saw
I'll never forget it.
last night? This bracelet of what I've told you guys before. I gained some wisdom from it about the thing that I saw. It said that it would take something of a holy nature to help destroy it, and that it's a remnant of something
Holy.
holy. I don't know what that means. I don't know how we would go about it. I don't know. I'd be asking if you guys know anything or how to go about it.
You messing with me?
No.
I can.
But before you weren't able to talk about it, and now you can?
I didn't. When I'm not able to talk about it, and when I'm not able to finish my sentences to tell you guys about what had happened, I wish that I could, but now there's not a presence in my mind that is acting like a barrier. that
So
I'm
it's
able
only
to-
sometimes.
Yes.
Huh.
Is there anything you wish you could tell us that you couldn't before?
If I take this bracelet off, I die.
That's not good.
I'm glad we weren't able to get it off earlier.
Yeah.
He wants me to release him. He
But if you release him, does the bracelet come off?
yes. His soul is bound to it. Do you guys remember the engravings of the general that was on the bracelet when we first got it at the Scorpion?
One of the three, yes.
Oh yeah, the scorpion. Yeah. I remember that.
Nigel Un.
It's
not-
possible. I was
Nigel.
Nigel. Oh no! I
Never heard of an elf Nigel before.
DM, help me.
You've said this name wrong 3 times. No. If you didn't write it down, this is your shit.
I have it here.
Then you should be able to say it real easy.
I'm bad at pronouncing
Nigel
it.
Thornberry projects out of it.
smashing. Yeah.
Just- Yeah.
Because I know how it's pronounced. Keep saying it, and I'll shake my head for every time you get it wrong. Let's do this.
Najul. Najul.
Nigel Thornberry.
Help!
Athena, you hear?
Why must you disrespect me?
Help! How do you pronounce it?
Nadrel Il. And you will be best to remember this.
Nadrel-in. Okay,
He
okay,
just
okay, okay.
fades away.
His name is Nadrel-in.
Talk it close enough. Okay, actually, for the sake of story, Nadrel Eel.
Nidrel eel.
Na, drell, eel.
Nadrel eel.
Back to Hooked on Phonics D&D edition. Welcome everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna phonetics this. NaH hyphen. However you want to spell drell.
Yep.
And then like ill, but only one L.
Like, he's not super ill.
Yeah, he's just like half sick.
It's like eel,
Okay.
like the word eel.
Yeah.
Okay.
NyQuil.
NyQuil ill.
NyQuil.
It's just an ad.
That's his brother. That's his sick brother. Sorry.
So I just kind of
Nabisco, right? Go ahead.
I'm just like, well, Selena, after we find my parents and save the town, I'll feel better about leaving again. And we can go release Nigel from your wrist. But you've been helpful enough thus far. And I just wanted to say thank you. Because Mick is my buddy here and all. We grew up together. But you didn't have to help. You didn't have to come. So, thanks. Sometimes I lose, in tense situations, sometimes I lose myself a little bit.
It's okay. I
You're doing
just,
Asher good.
I just don't want to lose anyone anymore. I've lost too many people in my life. And if we've come this
Are
far,
those
we've come
horses?
this way.
Outside, there are some horses that are moving, kind of. It sounds like they're being kind of probably brought around. You did leave your horses tied up top.
I had another question though, Selena.
Mm-hmm.
Before I pray, I noticed that you can use some magic now.
I can. Well,
Well, I guess this is a good time to bring this up, but every day when I come to the forge and I work on my weapon or my armor, I can get out my book. I reach into my pack and pull out my Clerics 101 book, and I open it up, and I'm like, I can learn how to do a bunch of this stuff that they taught me here in Sundal. Some of the clerics showed me how to do a lot of this stuff, but I didn't used to practice it a lot. I mostly just like, fixing up my armor and my weapons. So when I have to do anything more, I kind of have to recite and learn some stuff from this book. So what I'm trying to ask is, can you heal us, or should I have that ready? Is that something that you think we're gonna need?
I can use my spell Cure Wounds, so I can heal some of you guys. I can use it 2 times.
Yeah, yeah, it's here in my book. Yeah, I can do that too. I just have to make sure it's I go over the book for the day, refresh my memory.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have to know each day. So I'm just wondering, you know, where I should put my studies.
Based on
And as far as your holy magic, yeah, I have something in here that we could probably give a try, Mick, if you want. I haven't cast it in a very long time, but how hard could it be?
what is it?
Man, I'm down for anything.
When I was younger, like in my late teens, they showed me how to take radiant light and use it to destroy stuff.
Okay.
But it's not as satisfying as hitting with a hammer, sword, or a weapon. You know, metal to metal, stone to stone.
Asher, if you
So much
saw what we saw,
better.
Asher, if you saw what we saw,
You
trust
need
me,
more of that light.
it'd be satisfying.
I can do it.
If you hit that hammer, that beautiful hammer that you got on what we saw, you will lose that hammer.
I just look down at it and look back up to you, and I'm just like, no way. Not a chance. And I just smile at it. Just like it's my newborn baby. I'm just smiling at it.
I cast a
Like a new
just
kitten.
a glance to Mick, like
Okay. But I would recommend using or having the radiant light prepared.
All right. Okay. Let me know when you guys are ready. I'll just be over here. I just need a few minutes.
All right.
And I go to prepping my spells for the day.
Speaking to Morden, you feel your preparation is granted, and you feel imbued with his power once more. So you guys are leaving?
I go over because Aegis is with us now.
No, he is
Yeah?
at the other where he's
not?
originally
Okay.
pulled from. But you guys know that he's just not there. The only person who knows that would be Asher, based off where he was originally. Theron is actually drunk, laying on one of the tables in the back left, just kind of like on his side, just like the one leg just kind of kicking a little bit.
I wish that was me right now. I don't know.
I could use for a drink after we deal with this, whatever it is, and at your parents' house.
While Asher's preparing, I go over to or I motion to Selena. You said you lost a lot of your people in your past. Are you able to elaborate?
I can't right now. It was very obvious in like my facial expressions. It's just like, you see like a sharp pain just like go across my face. I can't. Not now.
I recognize him, try to ease into it. I know I cut myself off earlier, but when I was a kid, I saw my parents die. Those tendrils seemed to be the cause. I remember a glowing purple with almost a cat or like a panther, and these tendrils were coming out of it. And at first we thought it was a dream. I would have nightmares. But this proves it wasn't a dream. It's something that's behind it, and I don't know how to say how sorry I am that I got you hurt, but I need answers about my parents.
And we'll find them. We will. We just need to do it in the right state of mind and time.
Sorry, I got carried away.
Okay. We should probably find well, do you think it's just gonna be us heading out, or do we take we take the kettle.
Kind of curious to see what he can do.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a brief intermission. Really quick, I want to point out the fact that I was talking with Uni about this, about like, hey, what your character name? And within moments, they're like, hey, I got a new name for you.
Yeah, your name's Stupid
All right,
Kettle.
so I mentioned the mug thing. We're gonna do a quick intermission, but I'm gonna quickly talk about this for a second. So, quick shout out to some donations that went through. Freaking
Side
hold
note.
on. So
Are any of these characters' parents just
Yeah!
enjoying retirement golfing in Florida? No, they're all dead.
so Mountain God donated 5,000 bits.
And hippie.
I know I'm going through them.
Nice.
Jesus, Hippie with 6,000. Then another 5,000 from Hippie. Holy shit. And then another 4,000 for, and it says Mug Fund. So to Lawler, Athena, and Uni, we're going to, we'll get you guys some proper mugs amidst other stuff. So quick intermission,
Shout out to
everybody.
chat.
Everyone, audience, and you guys, go ahead and get something to drink, stand up, stretch. We'll be back in 5 minutes or so.
Woo.
Woo.